Hi everybody, this is Roland Lorans again from Georgia Homes team right here, Keller Williams, Atlanta Partners in Duluth. And this is part 3 of our 3-part series with Joel Williams, one of the top short sale lawyer teams in the metro Atlanta area. Now Joel, I'm actually bringing paper and pencil here because I'm learning so much from talking to you today. So I'm going to take some notes while you're speaking because this is really valuable.
Okay.
Number one, we went over the question that most families or people ask you. That was in the first video. Number 2, we sort of got into your team and how really realtors shouldn't be doing this on your own. It's sort of a no-no when they're doing this. We talked about a felony, but we don't want to get into that. So they really should be partnering up with a law firm like yourself.
Correct.
So to finish off this series of 3 today, the last question is, and I always find this the most fascinating question to ask, what questions should people really be asking you about doing a short sale in their future? The question that they maybe forget to ask or don't even know to ask, what would that be?
The biggest thing that I see is when you have a consumer, a homeowner, they own their home, they're upside down, and a lot of times they're behind 1 payment, 2 payments, 3 payments, and they just get worn out with the creditors and such as that call them, and finally they just give up and say the heck with it, we'll just let it foreclose. The question that they should be asking me is there a difference in my future if I do the short sale instead of a foreclosure and instead of a deed in lieu? And there's a huge difference between those 3. If you do a short sale, first of all, you've got certainty. Once we obtain an approval from the bank, you can say yes or no. If you say yes, we get it scheduled to close. If you say no, we go back to the bank and do some more negotiating. But you're certain when you're going to be moving out of that home.
So it's like we erased the blackboard, we got the job done.
That's right.
Okay.
If you go into a foreclosure, you're sitting there waiting for the other shoe to drop. You don't know whether they are or not actually going to advertise. Sell it at the courthouse steps that first Tuesday. You don't know when they're going to have you move. After they own the property, they can send the sheriff out there, put your stuff out on the street, and you got to go with no opportunity to plan for the future. Same thing with deed in lieu. Deed in lieu, you have some more certainty, but it's right up there with foreclosure in terms of how it affects your future. And the biggest thing about that is, if you do a short sale, as a general rule, you can qualify to purchase another home or for good credit within 3 years, all things being equal. If it's a foreclosure, there's some confusion and some question. It could be 4 years, could be 7 years, and some even say you could do it for 3 years. But even if it is just 3 years, the same as a short sale, the problem is whenever you fill out an application to borrow money, almost always in that application, it asks you, have you had a foreclosure? Legally speaking, you have to answer yes if you've had a foreclosure. And that stays with you the rest of your life. People have heard a lot of times it stays on your credit for 7 years. That may be so. But when they ask you that question,
but the fact is the fact.
The fact is the fact. If you don't answer that question truthfully, then you're guilty of mortgage fraud. So that's a huge difference between a short sale and a foreclosure. And I was talking to a lady just last week, and she said, look, we're past the point in our life where we want to buy another home. We're past the point where we want to borrow money. We're a Dave Ramsey kind of people. We deal with cash only. So why should we care whether they foreclose or we do a short sale?
That's really important. Tell our audience today.
The simple reason is, they've got family. They have children. They have grandchildren. What happens if 3 years down the road there's an emergency or something of that nature, and they need to borrow some money to help the family out? That's something they didn't think about. No, they may not want to buy another home, but they may need to borrow that money later on for some other reason. And people are tired of the home situation when they get out of it there. But 3 years is a fairly long time to have that to be healed. And you may decide, hey, look, after 3 years, Yeah, that was kind of tough, but the economy was
Things got better. We want to move on with our lives.
That's right.
But let me do this, Joel, because this has been fascinating. If someone needs to contact you or your firm, what's your phone number, please?
Just give us a call at 770-291-2110.
Say it again, please.
770-291-2110.
If everybody doesn't mind, we're going to do a fourth series in this. I thought only 3. I'm sorry. Can we still hold you for a couple more minutes?
Two,
It was 2, but a couple more minutes? Okay.
Sure,
We'll come on back
absolutely.
for series number 4.